Wow, interesting. My phone just did some Star Wars shit there, where I kind of like waved my hand and it started recording. I don't know how I did that, but you have to figure that out later. Anyway, so trying out some new things here. I'm trying a new aspect ratio for the video at the same time as I'm talking about testing something. So multiple tests in one. So I've done enough filming with the i7 4790K now to feel comfortable with making a review. Now, did I test every possible outcome and did I take it as far as I would like to go? No, but I'm limited on money right now, and the PC is currently listed for sale. And it, if it sells, I'm not 100% sure if I'll buy another one again, which I'll get into when I'm talking about this, I guess. The i7 4790K, I tested it on Fortnite, Warhammer 40K, Space Marine 2, Black Myth Wukong, and Final Fantasy 7. Those are my four go-to games of testing on right now. Black Myth Wukong, I think, is the most graphically challenging game that's currently out, and Warhammer Space Marine 2, out of my small collection of games, seems to be the one I like to look at the most. And it plays all of them perfectly fine. And I kind of knew that was going to be the case, or I had, I got a feeling that was going to be the case, because when I started off this channel, the first gaming setup I tested was a i7 4790K with a 980 and a 1080. Now, I really wanted to redo the 1080 simply because of the fact that the GTX 1080, because I know that when I shot that video the first time, one, it was a very nasty way I filmed it, and two, because I didn't have the frame rates unlimited; they were locked in at 60, so 60 FPS. So I didn't really get to see the full flow of what the that setup could do. So not only did I test those four games with the i7 4790K, I also tested the i7 4790K with three GPUs. I have a GTX 980, which is my go-to card for basic stuff. My 1080, which is to push the graphics settings a little bit higher, and I also have a 3050 that I pulled out of a pre-built. So, which is a 3050 is also going to get its own review here shortly, if not tonight. So with the GTX 980, you can play high settings on most games. Fortnite performance mode is like 150 FPS, and even Black Myth Wukong plays at on high settings without any issue. Although of course you're gonna get better FPS if you drop the quality of the gameplay down. But as long as you're holding 30 FPS in that game, it's not gonna lag or stutter. And I know this because I've tested it with a whole bunch of different versions of cards and subs right now. Now, surprisingly, as far as bottleneck calculator goes, the i7 4790K and the GTX 1080 is supposed to be like a 22% bottleneck, but when I was running it, I never saw like a bottleneck issuing there. The percentages, while they did get high sometimes, I don't ever really remember. Like, I would expect if there was a bottleneck for the CPU that you'd be seeing like 100% utilization of the CPU, and maybe or lower settings of that. But it seemed pretty balanced, and again, no lag, and pretty good FPS. The 3050, if you know what a 3050 is to be expected, honestly, the 3050 performed very similar to the 980, if not slightly lower than. Even with the DLSS, it wasn't that great, which I thought would be the one redeeming quality it would have to like make up for that factor, but it's not the case. Turns out the only real factor is this newer card, and I guess that's kind of the ball game for the review for the 3050 in general. Not really much to talk about there. So I guess if you want to ask, is the i7 4790K, right, the 4790K, is it worth buying in 2024, almost 2025? The fact that it plays Black Myth Wukong and at higher settings says to me, yeah, I mean, it's still a viable option, even though it's a decade old, right? Would I recommend buying it, though? I guess, like, somebody left a comment on one of the videos I uploaded, one of the test videos I uploaded, that they said they wanted to build like a retro gaming PC, and they wanted to build it with the 4790K. And I was like, well, sure. I mean, yeah, you can do that, and it's completely, viable to still use. But my issue is, like, me personally right now, what the whole theme of this channel is, and will probably always be, will be budget gaming. Now, of course, I think I've already got my go-to budget set up, and that could be the ball game, because for the time being, that's just going to be what it is. But of course, as right now, we kind of went into a slow season for selling PCs. October hit, and it seems like I ran into a brick wall. Everybody's offering to buy a PC right now. Offers like is only offered a couple $100, which I'm not going to do. I'm already selling them pretty low. I'm not making a lot of profit on these, and I think that what my PCs that I'm building are capable of is you're not going to find out in a pre-built at that price. But Black Friday and Cyber Monday are literally right around the corner, and I'm pretty sure what's happening is everybody's kind of like saving up, waiting for what the deals are going to be, and then we're going to have Christmas, and I would imagine that the PC sales will get back in the flow once those holidays have passed. So I guess that remains to be seen, because I was selling one or two PCs. I was selling 2 PCs on average a month, which is not a lot, but it's nice to be able to at least use that fund to put back into it. Anyway, I'm getting off track here. Keep on topic. The 4790K is it viable? Yes. Would I recommend buying it? No. The reason why is just cost. If you're looking to buy something like the 4790K, mainly the reason why you'd be looking at that is you're looking for, like, what can I buy that still plays modern games that doesn't cost very much, and so I will be doing a full review on that whole build soon to show you what it looks like if you haven't already seen it, and to talk about the cost of every single part, what it goes into making that or building that particular PC. But right now, I'm just going to look on the main things that comes into mind when I'm thinking about buying a budget or building a budget setup. So my normal budget setups are on AliExpress. I build my budget gaming systems with Xeon 2680 version 4, right? The Xeon 2680 version 4 has a much higher ceiling than the 4790K does. It just you have more wiggle room for what GPUs you can pair with it, right? And also the cost is just way better. It's just way cheaper. Now, if you want to buy a 4790K on eBay, and if you want to buy a 2680 version 4 Xeon on eBay, the 2680 version 4 is going to cost you $16 on average. The 4790K is going to cost you $60, and the 2680 version 4 is a better budget CPU for gaming than the 4790K. And if you want to talk about like comparisons, like if you want to nitpick and whatnot, I've got plenty of test footage of both. Now, as far as the 4790K goes, I would have to go and nitpick and do side by sides to all the videos to really get, to really see exactly how much utilization or what you're getting out of there. But it seems like the utilization is a little bit higher on the 4790K than it is on the Xeons on a regular when I was looking at it. And again, like I said, your GPU pairing is a lot higher. Again, like the 2680, I guess I could pull it up real quick. Bottleneck calculator. And the 1080. Oh, what? Oh, of course, obviously, the 4790K it shows the 22% bottleneck with the 1080. But again, it still plays it just fine. But that's what it's showing, right? So go to the Xeon, the E5 2680 version 4. Do that same calculation. You get 0% bottleneck. So 22% bottleneck with the 4790K, 0% with the Xeon, and like I said, from what I remember, you're getting much higher CPU percentage usages out of the 4790K than you are the Xeon. And now what I would like to do if I had more money and time, maybe this could still happen. I guess if I sell a different PC, and I'll probably do that. Then I would like to pair an RX 6600 with it. And I would like to test my 2060 with it as well. But right now my 2060 is in my main computer that I'm using, and I don't want to dig it out of there just for a video that might get 10 views. So and I guess I danced around it, and that's my bad. The CPU, the 4790K, I wound up buying mine off AliExpress, as well as my motherboard and my RAM. So that's still the same marketplace that I buy my Xeon stuff. I went to buy the 4790K setup. Right now, and I believe you could still buy this on Newegg. Wouldn't be a difficult thing, but haven't used Newegg yet to buy anything. I'll get there eventually. Right now, I'm using AliExpress. It was with the tax and shipping and everything. The CPU for the 4790K was $59.99. The motherboard I bought for was $3107, and the DDR3 RAM was $1191. Comes to a total of $102.97. $102.97. That's just like wow expensive for me. It's over $100 for those three. Now, why I say that's wow expensive? Because the E5 2680 combo, when it's on sale on AliExpress, you can buy as low as $65. Now, the setup is way better. It's a way better setup. It's going to push further, and it's almost half the price, right? So now, even when you're buying it at normal value, you're still looking at like $78. So again, $78 versus $102. Or AliExpress has their sales days fairly frequently, and you can get them, like I said, $60-something. I've got that set up at $60-something more often than not. I think I've only paid the $78 one time, right? But it still beats the price that you're going to pay for the 4790K. So if you want to use the 4790K, you want to pair it with some older GPUs or even some newer GPUs and run modern games, yes, you can. But if you don't already have one sitting around, I can't justify the price. Even the one thing too, like if you really want to look at overall performance, you got DDR3 RAM versus DDR4 that you're going to get with the switching over. So DDR4 and a higher ceiling, I can't justify building a 4790K on a regular. If I'm going to spend over $100 on a motherboard, CPU, RAM combo, I would rather be looking at more modern Ryzen at that point. The Ryzen 5 4500 goes for $60 brand new, and because it comes with a Array Stealth CPU cooler. Now, my CPU coolers I buy generally tend to be around $10 as well, but that it's still, $10 is $10. If you're trying to spend the least amount of money as possible, then why not buy that? And as far as buying the Ryzen 4500, you can buy it with the A520. I can't remember exactly which one it is, but the cheapest version of AMD's or the AM4 Micro ATX motherboard, you can get them for like $55 when they're on sale. So buying something 10 years old or buying something that's brand new and capable of running Windows 11, because that's another thing. The 4790K is only going to run Windows 10. That's the one thing I can say where it ties with the Xeon. The Xeon also only runs Windows 10. But at the end of the day, the PC, my budget PCs on average cost me around $250, depending on how much I can grab a GTX 980 for. And this one cost me just a hair under 300, and I'll be happy to make 380 if I sell that PC. So it's just I guess if you're trying to build something for yourself, then great. But honestly, I would rather say that the 4790K is something like, if you have one laying around and you want to dust it off and run it, yeah, you can. Or if you somehow come across one that's really cheap, then sure, by all means. But if you're looking at like an official marketplace, even used, like 10 years old, you're gonna pay that. I think at this point, the 4790K is maintaining its value, not so much because it's a good go-to budget CPU, but simply because of the fact that they're so old that they're probably at that point where they're starting to get rare, where you're not seeing a lot of them listed, as compared to what you are seeing with the Xeons, because they're server CPUs and there's just so many of them out there. All right, guys, so thanks for watching. I know this is a little long. I guess maybe I'll leave timestamps so we can help skip around this, or maybe I'll edit the video. Again, thanks for watching. Links are in the description down below. And peace.